Calling for an upset. I'm going to take the Colts plus 7.5 to upset at home. The Detroit Lions step up in competition, off a blowout win, looking ahead to that game against the Bears in division on Thanksgiving. Anthony Richardson has won 4 of his last 5 starts and played his best game as a pro against the Jets. Long drives, throwing the ball downfield. This is a Detroit pass defense that can be susceptible, and they don't have the pass rush they had earlier in the season. Anthony Richardson has won 4 of 5 starts. This team has had an NFL high 6 games decided by 3 or less. The Colts play close games. Upset. Colts 28. Lions 27.
Oh, this is juicy. Credit to Colin Cowherd. I know Detroit Lions fans are not going to like this one. I think he's picked the Lions to be upset like many times. I am so curious to see how this is going to age. Like I said, I know Lions fans are going to strongly disagree with that one. So, yeah, I mean, I think the Colts at the end of the day are a pretty big wild card because of Anthony Richardson, AR. I think he just either plays absolutely out of his mind and it's like unreal, or he's an absolute disaster. I don't know if in recent memory, if I've ever seen such an extreme swing player where it's just like you're either through the roof or you are just like, I don't even know if you're a high school starter for a varsity team on an average high school team. Like it's just kind of insane. One play it'll be like, oh my god, a basic 15-year-old can make that and he'll miss it, and another play you're like, oh my god, that may have been the top 5 greatest play I've ever seen in my entire life. So I guess it depends on who you're gonna get. If you get that top 5 greatest play I've ever seen in my life, well then yeah, I guess maybe the Colts can win this game. It's hard for me to see the Colts winning this game without like true heroics from Anthony Richardson. Like it's just the way how this team has unfolded. It's like I can't see it being like, yeah, AR threw for 210 yards, 17 for 23, and they ran the ball and they had a really good offense, really good balanced offense. Like it's hard for me to conceptually get there. And using what he looked like against the Jets as a frame of reference, I don't know if using the Jets as a barometer really means much of anything, quite frankly. But to be fair, going into this season, I was actually pretty high on the Colts and was like, hey, if AR really makes, really develops well and becomes the quarterback that they think they are, him and Shane Steichen are going to be able to make magic. And maybe that's the case with them. Maybe they were just a little delayed. But this is where it's going to be interesting to see from the Detroit Lions perspective, because they're obviously such a brutal, dominant, physical, intimidating team. I don't think it matters that they're coming off of this big blowout win. That it's just the way how this culture and the Detroit Lions team is coached and the way they execute and prepare. They're not going to be lazy off of a big time win. There's just zero, in my mind, there's zero risk of that. These guys, as the cool kids say, understand the assignment. The Detroit Lions understand the assignment. They know what it's all about. And they have done kind of like very much like, what is it, like the Men in Black neuralizer? Like week to week to week, they hit the reset button. It's just all about business. They're not leaning on their losses previous, or their big wins previously, earlier on in the weeks. I bet you they barely even remember, honestly. If you say, who'd you play week 7? They'd be like, I don't know. They'd have to like do the math, be like, oh, was that the Cowboys? Was that this? I think they're so in the moment, so focused right now. And what's really cool for them is the way how they also continue to stay focused is that the number 1 seed is there for them, and it technically can be taken away with losses, right? Like the Eagles are right there as well. So like they know that they got to continue to take care of business, and they know that their brand of football is to continue to just dominate and just lay it on them. So I just do not think that there's some sort of risk. They're not getting too high on their own supply. Like they're not, like that is what bad teams do. That is what the Dallas Cowboys did in years past. That is not who the Detroit Lions are. So I bringing up that they're coming off of a big win, I'm not seeing how that's a detriment for the Detroit Lions at all. I mean, seriously, like I don't even understand why it's brought up. Again, for teams that are average, that are good, that are really, really young, poorly coached, have a lot of in-your-face players who love the fortune and the fame and all that, then I could understand. Then you could say, okay, you know, like this could end up hurting them. That's not the case with this Lions team. They have Super Bowl champions written on their eyelids, man. Every time they blink, they see it. Like they are just they know what they want. I actually just re-listened to Dan Campbell's opening press conference, right, when he first got announced, the whole kneecap thing and stuff like that everyone obviously, I guess, will forever make fun of him for. I bet you if they win the Super Bowl, they'll even like play a clip of that, you know, at the parade or something. I would bet a lot on that one. But it's just one of those things where that identity, it's funny because I saw it, you know, online, and like the caption was just, you know, this aged well. And usually when people say this aged well, they obviously mean it in a negative way. And it's like, no, this actually did age well, even though people made fun of it ruthlessly. And I just don't see that being a fundamental problem for the Detroit Lions. It's not to say that they're going to win every single game. It's not to say that they can't lose this game, but I don't agree with like necessarily maybe the logic how you get there. But like being favored by 7.5 points against the Colts, I think trying to rank where someone is favored when you're dealing with a team like a Colts who are so wildly inconsistent, it becomes a little difficult, which is why I think maybe Colin is kind of picking this game, kind of like a dark horse, like, hey, you know what? The Colts are significantly undervalued. AR is a big wild card. There's like a 50% chance that AR plays really, really great. And if he does, well, then there's a legit chance that the Colts can come away with this win. So I can see if you're just trying to be strategic and mathematical, you can make this bet. But I think like 99 out of 100 times, if you're saying who's going to win this game, Colts or Lions, you're going to pick Lions 99% of the time. You just are. But I think when we're talking about things of how we know sports can unfold, we know the better team doesn't always win. We know how things change week to week to week, any given Sunday, all that type of stuff. I think that's how you ultimately get to a take like this, where you're like, hey, you know what? Let's see. There's a 50% chance that this works. And if it works, I look like a genius. If not, you go, whatever. I took a shot. You know, let's see what happens. So, yeah, it's going to be an interesting game. I hope it's this close, honestly. I mean, it doesn't matter to me who wins, but it's like, I hope we got some close games, you know, like, so, and I hope AR becomes a legitimate quarterback in the NFL. I really, really do. The NFL will be significantly better for it. So, you know, we will find out soon enough. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Detroit Lions being upset by the Indianapolis Colts? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I'd absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.